Hi, my name is Ashank and I recently graduated from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. The paper I'll be presenting today is titled A Quantitative Analysis of When Students Choose to Grade Questions on Computerized Exams with Multiple Attempts. At the University of Illinois, we have something called the Computer-Based Testing Facility, or CBTF, where students can come in to take exams for their engineering classes. Let me show you what those exams look like. So this is the screen that the student sees when they open up their exam. As you can see, there are 6 questions in this exam, and some of the questions have different point availabilities. Let's go ahead and click on question 6. So I can type my answer to the question here, and once I'm done, I can either save, which will save my progress and allow me to move on to a different question, or save and grade, which will give me immediate feedback. So the first question we had was, how often do students choose to save versus save and grade? To do this, we collected students' click log data from 2 semesters for 3 classes and pre-processed it to find out how many saves there were versus save and grades, as well as the order of exam questions answered. Out of all the student submissions that we gathered, only 4% of those submissions were save submissions. It's clear that saving wasn't a popular feature among students in those classes. We had an idea of some specific student behaviors in the CBTF, but we wanted to perform a more quantitative analysis, so we decided to cluster students into groups based on their behavior as to how they progressed through exam problems. Features included order of questions answered, as well as the submission type. We found 6 clusters, but for the sake of time, I'm only going to focus on Cluster B and Cluster D. If you would like to see the details of the other clusters, please refer to the paper. The students in Cluster B didn't save at all, and if they got the question wrong, they would retry the question until they got it completely right or wrong. The students in Cluster D would save the question and then save and submit the same question for feedback. Here's a bar chart for the exam score averages for Clusters B and D. As you can see, the students in Cluster B performed much better on exams than the students in Cluster D on average. We can clearly see that there's a correlation between grading behaviors and higher exam scores, but we can't make the conclusion that the behaviors actually caused the higher exam scores, or that higher performing students specifically chose these behaviors. Further research would have to be done to answer these questions. There is a lot of room for future work. Experimental manipulation that restricts students to particular behaviors could give us insight into whether there are key behaviors that cause higher grades. Also, students' stress levels during these exams would be important to take into consideration.